That Home Depot in Brooklyn had everything I needed, and double-sided oak, which is really valuable to me, which I can't get, well, not easily in Canada, but the standard quarter-inch oak plywood in the US is double-sided. Come on, pup, let me in. Come on, pup. Come on, scoot over. I'm driving. All right, some more destruction. Taking out the starboard side kitchen cabinet. Of course, the fridge will stay, but everything else will go. It's going to be rebuilt largely the same, but this bulkhead has to be replaced so that I can build the closet bulkhead in the bedroom. So it's time to do it. It's going to be rebuilt, as I said, very much the same. Drawers here instead of this door and drawers, which never really worked very well, and slightly different cabinet arrangement, but largely the same. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, got it all cleaned out and cleaned up. Washed all the crappy little mold off the wall. It's amazing, when you have it open, you sort of have this temptation to keep like an open plan, but there's an awful lot of storage going in here. Big hanging locker and then more kitchen cabinetry. Pulled the carpet up as well, and actually the floor is in great shape. Doesn't have the rotten by the door or the fridge problem that many of these coaches have. There's some mold, but the wood is solid, which is really great. And so, time to start putting stuff back together. Let's see how it goes.
I apologize, I really didn't shoot much video during this stage of the project. Here I am cutting out one of the bulkheads out of plywood, and that's about all I can show you.
Bulkhead! Good to go. Oh, big day again in the coach. Time to rip out the actual whole front Gaucho and Galley. I really have to get moving on this because I'm only going to be at this location, which is a great place to work. I can run the table saw and the generator all I want here in Nova Scotia, and I'm going to hit the road going back to New York and then west, and I'll have little opportunity to do this kind of work in about 8-10 days. So it's been long overdue pulling this apart. This bloody horrible sliding table that everyone hates. Well, I hate it anyway. It has served me relatively well when you consider what a piece of junk it is. Haven't advanced too far on the fridge side of the Galley. I have it all apart, and I've been mostly doing design work because I have to build a set of drawers in here, and I want to build the drawers here at the same time that I build the drawers on the other side for a little bit of economy of scale. Anyway, everything in the back of the coach is really great. It's not finished, obviously. I have to put the partitions up, the final partitions up for the bathroom and the door, but there's no two-sided oak veneered plywood available where I am, so I have to be able to get to one of the larger cities to be able to get some of that before I can do that. I can use the one-sided stuff for most of the cabinets I'm doing. Anyway, let's start ripping and tearing. Won't be able to use the stove and the fridge for a couple of days, or at least a day. Cheers.
Here's the kitchen cabinet out and most of the new plumbing in place. That's the hot water heater in the middle there. The black pipe is the drain and vent, and the white is the pressure plumbing in PEX. And here we have the carcass of the new Galley cabinetry in place, including a stainless steel sink, which is really just an old bar sink, which I cut the flange off, set inlaid into the plywood as it'll be an undermount sink when I put the final cabinetry in place. And then I moved on to the front of the coach, where I'd removed the Gaucho couch arrangement and replaced it with a rather nice, really big double dinette that folded down to a double bed, and worked out really well. I had to relocate the plumbing for the water tank, as I'd abandoned the original front-mounted tank and went to underfloor tanks. But this worked out really well.
Okay, and the continuing project in the coach, working in the front dinette. Yesterday I made up the parts of this oak table, and it's basically going to be a real old style leaf table. I have actually 3 leaves that go in it as well, and I've got these nice leaf table slides that I picked up at Lee Valley in Canada. Really great outfit. Lee Valley tools and hardware and stuff. It's great. Anyway, so I'm just going to put this together tonight and actually get it installed. The stain is still a little bit sticky on it, but I'm so tired of eating and working on this. I'll be glad to move on. The slides had to be shortened a bit. They come 26 inches long, But this table will be very, very short when it's closed up, and I'll explain that why later. So I was able actually to cut off little blocks off the end, just a few inches off the end of each section of the slide. I had to be a bit clever how I do it so I didn't break the way it works, so that it just barely, when it's closed, fits inside, and that'll open up nicely. The table will fold down out of the way. It'll drop down to be the support for the bed when this converts to a bed, and it'll also be able to go outside. I'm setting it up with 4 of these little table leg brackets so that I can go outside as an outside table. Really nice, kind of glamping, isn't it? To have a nice folding, oak table with what do you call that? Jeez, I've lost it. Oh well, there you go. Cheers.